Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shades of Madi. Today I will be teaching you how I created this social media party flyer. So at first, let me give you a quick run through of the files I used. I used this background. You can see, let me remove the Gaussian blur effect. You can see it's a background. So as you might have seen in my other videos too, that I've been dropping PSD files. So please do well to subscribe, and so you can get notified when I drop more PSD files, because I'm dropping files massively this month. So please do well to subscribe and watch my other videos and get free premium PSD files and quality images. So let me give you a quick run through of it. Now for this design, it's a very special one in the sense that I use two different images for one design. So you can as well use both images to get that one design. It's very simple and straightforward. So what I did here was to, let me switch off all these images here first. All these images. Sorry. So what I did was to switch to all these images. Now what I did there was to create, let me remove this Gaussian blur effect. You can see this is a background. I used 1080 by 1350 as a page size. So when I tried to work on the image, I added Gaussian blur effect to it, and you can see it's 20.2 as the radius. Now if you don't understand how to use Gaussian blur, you come to your filter, blur, Gaussian blur. You will get a hang of it. So what I did next was to bring in my image. You can see this image here was well work done. You come to your camera raw here. Come to your camera raw here. Camera raw. Or on your keyboard, simply press Ctrl Shift A as the shortcut to take you to camera raw immediately. So what I did there was for details here, I reduced the noise, because you can see if I remove the noise, you can see it's kind of grainy, and I don't want it to be grainy. I want it to be very blunt. So I removed the sharpness. I added a little bit, so I used 29 as the noise reduction level. Now for the basic, I use exposure at 0.35, contrast at 65, texture at 65, clarity at 45 for details. Now if you notice this image, you can see that this was worked on. So what I did here, sorry, Ctrl Z, coming. So what I did here was to work on the image, here. Let me remove this camera, this. You can see it's very sharp and straight. As you can see, it's very sharp and it's very straight, but I don't want that. So what I will do is create a layer mask here, come to my gradient tool, click once on it. With my foreground color still at black, I gently brush something like this, just give it that sweet look. Here you get. It's very simple. So let me undo the effect. Now what you can also do again is to, let me remove this image. You can see this image also goes well with it. What I did was to, again, camera raw again. It's loading. I just touched some part of the image just to make it kind of sharp and and clear. So I used exposure at 0, contrast at 68, texture at 72, clarity at 66 for this. Then I think the details, sharpening at 51, radius 61, and no, sorry, noise reduction at 61, color noise reduction at 47. So you can decide to use all these images for your designs. Very simple. Then as usual, you can check my other videos on how I got this. If you don't know how I got this, it's very simple also. Create a new layer here. Let me switch it off. With your you click on gradient tool, with your foreground color set to black, you would brush tool as usual. Very simple also. Then you can see the text effect here. Very simple. For a text I used sorry, another day regular for the text. Then you can also click through to check the effects I used. That means the blending options. So for bevel and emboss, I used inner bevel, smooth, depth 303, size 250, soften 0, angle 90 for the shading, altitude 53, gloss contour. Then the highlight mode, I use vivid light color white, opacity at 64. Then shadow mode, I use vivid light also color white, opacity at 44. Then I now jump to my satin. You can see white, blend mode overlay, opacity at 9, angle 19, distance 11, size 71. Then for my gradient overlay, you can see the blend mode is normal. Then at location 0, I used yellow. The goal of this was to create a good effect, so and I got that perfectly well. So I used E7BA06 at location 0. Then for location 25, yes, I used D9962D. Then at location 53, I used FFC A49. Then at location 77, I used D9962D. Then finally at location 100, I used 885724. Yeah, 24. You can see for drop shadow, you can decide to leave this one out if you want to. So it's matter of preference. Click OK here. So let me bring in all these text. You can do very simple text, then some PNG files